I love this part. I get super excited. Oh, there we are.
It
Okay.
says Matt.
We are live, Mr. Matt. What is going on, LnM family? Um, Surprise, surprise. We're doing this is the very first live stream on the Learnings and Missteps platform. We're live right now on Facebook, live on LinkedIn, live on YouTube. And the purpose behind it is the intent rather is to have a monthly live stream, very short, maybe 30 minutes or so, unless things get really heated and really deep. But to recognize our builder level patrons, and we have Mr. Matt. Matt, how you doing, sir?
Doing good. Doing good. Thanks.
Doing good. So y'all need to know that Matt has signed up on Patreon at the builder level, which is a serious commitment. And we want to recognize and support Matt, and also shout out to all the LnM family members out there that have signed up as patrons, but also have been listening and sharing and adding comments, and celebrating the careers and the trades. And so this is where y'all know, if y'all know me already, we're just kind of flying by the seat of my pants because that's just the way,
You are wearing pants, right? So,
I'm what, yeah.
okay, just making sure on that.
Yes, it's official. I am wearing pants. Beautiful question, Matt. Looks like we got a few people with us on LinkedIn. We got some people with us on the YouTube. So if you're out there, say hello, let us know who you are. Give us a shout out. You know what? Let us know if you're wearing pants. How about that?
I'm certainly wearing pants. Let's clear that up right now.
Oh, that's hilarious. Um, so again, we got my buddy Matt here. I don't y'all, Matt, you're pretty active on LinkedIn, correct?
Yeah. Kind of found a fun tribe of folks there. It was fun to land on your tribe, actually.
Yeah, man. We connected. I think the first time you and I had a conversation, I think I was in Miami,
Mm,
right? We had reached out. You sent me, no, this is what it was. You sent me like a video, like on the, what do you call it? The DMs.
yep.
Direct message me a little video saying hello, introducing yourselves. Like, man, that is super slick, like super cool. And I said, man, I got to meet this guy. So we scheduled a call and had a conversation. We're talking about, here's two things that I remember, Matt. One was this whole lean thing, right? The tribe and everybody's around. I remember you saying, it's like, man, it's like these lean people is this concentration of like crazy ideas that's almost cult like. Like, but you're not the only one that said that. Several people have said that. I was like, oh my God, yeah. It was awesome because it's rare to have that outside perspective. And so when you shared that with me, I'm like, oh man, like I bet we do sound like a bunch of weirdos, uh, crazy fun weirdos, but still weirdos. And then you also mentioned that you are noticing a concentration of these lean construction weirdos in Texas. And
For
that
sure.
also had never occurred to me. So would you mind like sharing a little bit more about that observation?
Sure. Um, at the time, I was hawking software sales, and targeting commercial contractors. So got to go find them. So do my research, and of course, there's a number of them, and the three big metros in Texas are the real kind of hot spots right now in the country, right? So I I noticed that the people who are active in the lean conversations are companies in Texas. They're, and like you take the communities of practice, that sort of thing. We've got one here in Colorado, but it's nothing like what you guys are doing down there. So it's well, at least that I've seen. I'm new. Let me just throw that out there. I'm getting my feet under me with lean. It's all new, and I've got a lot of people to get out there and meet. So,
Yeah, no, man, the point you make that I'm getting is it's new. and I've been messing around swimming in this lean space for a while now, and there's always like new stuff to learn, just new ideas, new approaches, um, new personalities. Like it's a never ending thing. Like there's so much stuff that's out there that I'm just like not even aware of, and when I happen upon it, it's like, oh my god, something new to learn. We've got some troublemakers coming in on the chat.
Uh-oh.
We got Mr.
Oh,
Adam
there's Adam.
Hoots. What's up, Adam? He says, what's up, LnM fam? And then the ultimate troublemaker. Are you familiar with Miss Jennifer Lacey?
Yeah.
She's amazing. She keeps me square. What did you think about that poll, Matt, that we had posted?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a good time. I accused her of what did I accuse her of? Confirmation bias.
Yep. Yep. Well, some of that came through for sure.
Oh, looky here. We got Dr. M. It is, oh my goodness. Dr. M, you're always up you're up way later than I usually am.
Yeah, that's way past my bedtime.
Yeah, 11:50 p.m. in India. What's going on, Dr. M? Man, I appreciate the comments, y'all. Keep them coming. Again, there's a little bit of an experiment. And Jen and Adam, y'all already know that I just kind of, hey, I have an idea. Let's just do this thing and see what's going on. But Matt, what you have recently, I've noticed that you've been doing book reviews on your LinkedIn profile. Where does that come from?
I've always enjoyed reading. I read probably too much. There's something to be said for, taking action on what you read, not just going and reading more just as an excuse. Learning can kind of be its own little trap that I fall into for sure. But just curiosity about things, the wonderful thing about the industry. There's always something new, and especially with like you say, always something new in the lean world, the continuous improvement, and so many different points of view that it's fun. Yeah. So for anybody that's curious about posting, a lot of it is, I don't know what to post about. I don't have any real expertise to share. Nobody really cares about the things I know anything about, coming from, I'm just an old carpenter, basically an old framer and finish guy. So sharing book posts is fun, because there are a lot of people who read and enjoy and study, and it does get quite a bit of traction. It's about some of the best posts I've had, or book review posts, and they're fun ways to connect with really interesting people and make some fun friends that way.
Yeah. So okay. So one, that you do the video and the messages and introduction. I mean, at least that's what I was experiencing, and that was like, whoa, this is different. Let me meet this person, because it was like a genuine interaction, right? You've probably had these interactions where people will DM you and say, hey, let me help you with your business, and I can help you reach all your KPIs. And I'm like, reject. But you came across with, hey, this is where I'm at, this is who I am, and this is what I'd like to learn, and this is why I'm reaching out to you. And I was like, oh wow, that is unique. And then you're same thing with the book post, like you're reading the book and you're posting your takeaways, and so that's driving interaction.
Yes. Yeah. Sure. Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's a fun way to meet the authors too, generally. I've made some great friends.
Really?
Who've written the books. Yep. So that's always a fun way to, it's not an ulterior motive, but it's a nice benefit.
That's well, and so you nailed. So that's the thing. There's no, or maybe I'm just going to say it. There's no ulterior motive for that I can sense in the way you interact on social media. And I think that's like extremely powerful. Like it's authentic. and it's real. Like you're utilizing it, you're sharing your observations, you're sharing your thoughts, you're sharing the video, but you're not selling. You're just kind of interacting and being a part of the community. Am I off base on that?
No, I don't think so. I probably have a different perspective on selling than what's typical. I think we are. So my dad was a car salesman, insurance salesman. My brother sold cars, so I've been around the hardcore sales thing, and that's not me. And I just always felt that sales equaled manipulation somehow. You're trying to get in their wallet and take their money. I've had sales positions where that's definitely what is expected of you as a salesperson is bring in the revenue. There's a bit of I won't call it a revolution, but an evolution maybe in sales, where people are realizing that's, well, first of all, it's not very productive. It backfires, and people don't want to be sold. And sales, my feeling is it's a service profession. You find people that have a problem that you can help them fix, and if it involves them buying your stuff, so much the better. But you're there to help, and that's all that sales really is. And it's different than what I thought it was when I got into it years ago.
Oh man. So how, I'm going to test a thought that I've had for a long time. How valuable is thick skin when it comes to rejection in sales?
I guess I have a flip side of the coin answer. So on one side is, I suppose, and everybody's going to tell you have to have a thick skin. You have to be able to face rejection. I would say the flip side of that coin is you just have to be willing to get a little uncomfortable and not worry about what people think. And that, to me, is not thick skin, especially selling in construction. And there's a lot of challenges, but running into nasty people is not one of them. I only been hung up on rudely one time. And it wasn't even really rude. It was just like, nah, we're all set. Thanks. Click. No FUs, nothing. And generally people are more willing to hear it as long as you're just like straight up, it's like, hey, I'm selling something. I don't know if it's a fit, anything you even need. Can I tell you about it? If they're busy, they'll let you know. And having been a contractor, if I'm busy, I'm the last person I'm going to talk to is a salesman, because I got a job to do. And if you respect that, then it's fine. And people have been, very helpful. The hard thing in construction is finding the right person to talk to, the right person who owns that problem, because you can't really rely on titles and roles and that sort of thing. And every company is unique. But no, construction's a good place to be. Of course, I'm maybe a little biased because I have been there, and I fit the what the stereotype, right? Old white crusty dude. So it's easier to build a little rapport with guys who look like me and talk like me and think like me.
Yeah. Well, to quote my mom, she always says, "Mijo, you're not very smart, so you better learn how to work it." And you just gotta work what you got, whatever you got, you gotta work it, baby. And it sounds like that's what you're doing. Jennifer, bringing some love. She says, "I love that Matt is approaching social media in a different way, sharing his takeaways from his learnings." Boom.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Yeah. And she also says, "Matt, you need to own your impact, good sir, especially with the connections that you're making." And I got to warn you, like when she says that, if you don't, you're in trouble. You get detention.
I was going to say, I think I'm going to have to reach out and ask for for a tutorial session on what that means and what that involves.
Yes. So Jen, there you go. We're not going to call it detention. We're going to call it tutorial about what that means and what all's involved in terms of owning one's impact. 100%. And Dr. M bringing the love for sales folks. He says, sales guys are amazing. They are the soldier that faced the gunshots, messed up by their upstream, right? I mean, I think you kind of touched on that a little bit. And you also mentioned getting kind of uncomfortable with, or getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. And with that, you and I we've had several calls, or maybe a few calls, and you've been flirting with the idea of podcasting and getting
nailed me on the uncomfortable part there. Got me.
Yeah. What's that been like? That whole experience of examining the idea and then taking steps towards starting your own podcast, and what's that been like so far?
Well, I feel a little naked here because I think Jen's caught me on it. I think I struggle most with just feeling like I don't really have anything to contribute or anything to talk about that's either not already being talked about or that anybody be at all interested in. So there's that struggle, figuring out who my audience might be and that sort of thing. And then that kind of trickles down to what do we talk about. I've kind of hit on an idea that I'd kind of like to drill deep into certain topics. So instead of having a show about a topic, just do like a mini series, drill down some topics that are important to me in the industry, and reach out to people who are also interested and passionate in those things and get their take on it, and then kind of assemble that into a collage. I'm not sure what the word would be.
Okay.
The tech part is straightforward to me. And you helped me out there. You've got a great resource list already put together, and it's technically it's pretty simple to do. So just really need to get busy and do it.
Yeah, the technical part, exactly right. Like, I always thought the technical part was going to be the hardest part, until I started doing it. And then I'm like, oh my God, this technical thing's very easy. It's all the other stuff that's in my head.
Right.
What do you
The
think?
only person in my way is me.
Oof, 100%. Well, and Adam bringing it says, do it. Hashtag let it fly. Yeah.
All right. We'll do it.
Yeah. You got just one step, right? One foot in front of the others. Let it ride. I know I may or may not have applied some pressure with Adam and Jen about in terms of getting out there and just trying new platforms. And you know what? I'm going to claim this. I'm going to claim this one. Matt, this is your first live stream. Is that correct?
It is. It is. I didn't know this is what I was in for, or I wouldn't have come.
So I'm going to claim that one. Matt, maybe this is inappropriate, but I'm going to say it anyways. Like another notch on my closet door here of somebody that I pulled into getting up live and sharing their way.
Cool.
Oh, look at here. Miss Jen says, ooh, I love it. The only person in my way is me. Quoted Mr. Matt here. It's so true. And look, Dr. M, because he's got his vodcast correction, because I think I said it incorrectly the other day on YouTube. He says he went through that phase also. Just stick on. It's all in. He agrees. It's all in our head. Cool. And I think you have, I'll say this, like, I know that you and I've spent, some time talking and sharing ideas and, gabbing. Well, me mostly gabbing. But I think your conscientiousness and the curiosity is unique. The way you're
Hmm.
asking and thinking about things is totally unique. Um, and I think it's going to resonate with the people it needs to resonate with. Right? Like there's like a lot of there's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of people saying a lot of the same things. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, I kind of feel, or rather, I've decided to believe that the tone, the energy, the heart of each individual is going to resonate with a particular audience, regardless if they're saying the exact same thing. It's their essence that connects with other human beings. And so I just decide to believe that if I'm not putting it out there, that there's a group of people, there's an audience of folks that I am not serving, that are
Yeah,
in need of service. How does that land with you, Matt?
I like that a lot, and I think the thing for me is to just remember that I'm not trying to put a spotlight on myself or anything that I have to say. I don't have anything to say. Um, my whole point of wanting to do something like this is that there are so many fascinating people doing really interesting and important things, and I want to find out what they're doing and what they're about and meet these folks. And hopefully, this would be a way to do that. Just get to know some interesting, impactful people. And I've certainly, that's been great about sales is you do run into them. You run into lots of them, and like I say, in this industry, maybe it's just the industry, I don't know, but they've all been super helpful, and I've never been turned down for a conversation for any other reason than just like, oh, I'm going to be out of the office traveling next month. It's always, hey, I'm packed. It's never, no, I'm not talking to you. I have yet to have that. So if anybody's considering a career in sales, stick in the industry, because I won't say it's easy to make sales, but it's certainly talking to people is very, very easy in this business, in our industry.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to add this, Matt. I think a large part of it, because I've been rude to salespeople, like maybe more than rude. I've been disrespectful to salespeople.
Well, I'm glad I never called you as one then.
Well, but again, I think it's this, and this is the point of it, is it's because of the way you show up. That's the difference. I remember, oh man, I remember this speaking. So I was talking, you and I were talking before we went live about my marathon training. I had gone, it was the Rock and Roll Marathon here in San Antonio, and they have like a big expo before the race, the night before. You pick up your pack and all that stuff. And there was this guy he was selling really fancy socks. They had like copper threaded into them, and they were good for blood, blah, blah, blah. They looked really cool, and they were tighter right around the arch. So I was sold. I'm going to get me 3 of these socks. And he was giving his deal. And I remember I was like, oh man, like what colors can I get? 3 different colors. And he just looked at me and said, man, I need you to wait until I give my message. And I said, you know what? Say, bro, this is about me. This is not about you. I was going to buy some of your socks, and you like, what's wrong with you, man? Like you're in the wrong damn business. And I used some colorful language when I responded to him. But my point is, he was not there to serve. He was there for himself. And I felt it like immensely. And I was like, okay, boom, done. And I think I know that I don't get that feeling when you and I are engaging, and even on first contact. And so back to the overarching point here is you haven't experienced any rude, jerky behavior from people in the construction industry, and I'm saying that that's largely because of you and the way you show up.
Hmm. Well, thanks. That's interesting. I hadn't thought of it
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, like done. And so Jennifer, ditto, she's saying ditto. The different perspective is what makes this space so valuable. Um, and Dr. M, I think you have some people kind of cheering you on here for this podcast of yours, Matt. He says
Well,
he does
thanks.
his podcast to learn from many and share with many in his community. Uh, the worst thing for me, it's like the worst thing I can do. I'm going to lose some time. Some people might give me some feedback, but that means they listen to it. So it's still cool. Um, Now, you mentioned that you want to like deep dive, and I don't know why, but I keep envisioning a quilt. But you want to deep
Hmm.
dive into multiple subjects. What are some of the subjects that you're thinking about diving into?
Oh, well, the one that's on my mind right away is uh, just the art of questioning. So a couple of things have come up. So you and I have had a great conversation about this. You introduced me to a really fun young man, Garrett, and I got to go sit in on a pull plan session. I'd never been in on a pull plan session, and he invited me down to Atlanta to sit in on one, and it was really fun. And he would, we're sitting together during lunch and stuff, and he's talking to me about um, how what really makes a pull plan work is the ability to ask questions. And some of the things that he was talking about, the listening and that sort of thing, it just made me chuckle because that's what good salesmen do. And so I think that good superintendents who are able to get a lot out of their people and their project would make great salesmen because they know how to listen to understand, how to empathize, put themselves in that situation, and find solutions to problems and bring it up in a way that's not like me telling you what you need to do, but um, hey, seems like this might work. What do you think? That sort of attitude that I've seen real successful supers have. Not, I mean, we've all been around the pushers,
Oh
like
yeah,
as the hard hat throwers, and those guys are no fun, and I don't think they're very effective either. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, asking questions, and then um, I've got a couple other rat holes to go down with the questioning and the psychology around questions and such. Another one that I would really like to drill into is around financial literacy in the
mm.
trades. So, a confession here: I've not made a lot of money as a tradesman. I've made and lost a lot of money doing other things.
Yeah,
It's not what you make, it's what you hang on to, right? So um but I feel like we're not taught, especially when you get to that point where you really think that, man, working for this dumbass, this isn't going to do it anymore. I'm going to go out on my own. But you don't have any training, education in business or around that, and we seem to learn by repeating the same mistakes that everybody in our past has already made. And a few people move past that very successfully and very quickly. And I would like to, button some of that up and get that out into the world, because I think there are a lot of people that could benefit, especially some of the younger folks that are coming on right now. I see them have so much potential if
yeah,
they don't make some of the mistakes I made, then so much the better. So there's that. I'm also pretty pretty interested in seeing the industry become more welcoming to women and minorities. The diversity thing. Uh, my point of view is the establishment view, the old white guy. and I don't know what I don't know, and I'm real curious about that. And it's kind of an emotional topic for me too. I feel a lot of people just kind of get the shaft unfairly, and I think that would be some difficult and important conversations to have in the business, in the industry.
Man, those are three ginormous, like ginormous topics, Matt.
Oh,
Listening, financial literacy, and diversity. Like, yeah. Jennifer, like she's saying, oh yeah. Jennifer says, I love the idea of exploring financial literacy for the trades. Building capacity and understanding what qualified really means is so important and currently missing. Yeah, like 100%. I got lucky. Like the financial advice I got from Papa Juan, he was a master plumber, and he was like retired, so he only worked like 2 or 3 days a week. And the company I was with, man, this was way like during apprenticeship. I think I was with Jack Lawrence, um, and he said, Jess, this is what you need to do. Every time you get a raise, for every dollar you get, you need to put 25 cents into your 401k. And I'm like, 20, like, that's my money. He's like, no, you don't. And he pestered me and pestered me, and I did it. And even now, right, I'm launching my business, and I've already decided 25% of whatever I get it's not going into my 401k. I'm going to put it aside specifically for real estate, right? I've got some property and stuff that I need to develop. And it's like, well, where do I get that money from? Well, duh, just put it to the side. And I know there's so much more evolved and better ways to think about managing your money. But for me, just putting 25% away every time I got a raise, every time I had a whole lot of overtime, like I knew overtime was coming, I would up my contribution to my retirement account. Well, and now I've learned that like 401k is not the only way to make and invest your money. There's many other ways to do it. But if I don't cut that percentage aside, I really can't do anything with it. And thank goodness to Papa Juan, because it was that lesson that helped me create the conditions to live the life that I'm living now. It took a bunch of, there were several times where I made a lot of money and drank it all. And at the end of it, had nothing to show for it. So I had a couple cycles of that, but eventually it kind of all panned out. And here we are today. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's
not awesome, but you've come out the other side and or better for it, I guess.
That's it. We all learn. And so I think your message is going to be very valuable. Even Dr. M says, well, it's Monday in India already. He says, you're going to amaze us soon. He's going to big. Yep. So I guess little heads up to the LnM family out there. We've got a new episode with Miss Carol Raftery, who is amazing. New York, president of her local union, lots of experience, pretty interesting backstory as to how she got to where she's at now. And then later on in the month, we're going to be releasing an interview with Mr. Pete Zepatella from Canada, who has a patent on a specially designed jacket that accommodates fall protection, personal fall arrest system.
Really?
Yes. You got to check. He's on LinkedIn. I think his company's called Zeps Gear. I hope I didn't get that wrong, but forgive me if I did. But so we're going to be able to talk to him. He's a carpenter by trade, came up as a carpenter and then designed this jacket. Because I mean, if there's people out there, if you've ever had to wear personal fall restraint system over your jacket, it doesn't feel good. And then having it under your jacket with the lanyard and everything coming directly behind your neck, that also no, not at all. And so he has this patented design that makes it super comfortable. So you can be comfortable, you can be warm, you can be safe. Like, that's a win.
That is a win. I can't wait to see that one.
Oh man, it's going to be coming out. I need to probably get some video from him and put it up there. But well, Matt, how painful was this?
It wasn't bad. Wasn't that bad.
Man, I appreciate you being brave. It was kind of like yesterday on the No BS live stream. I just threw it out there like, oh yeah, Matt and I are going to live stream tomorrow.
Oh, we are we? Good to know.
And here we are. You see how that works?
Just pushing the deep end of the pool.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Any closing thought you have for the LnM family, Mr. Matt?
Well, thanks for being so welcoming. Appreciate it. It's fun to. I've met a lot of really neat people here already, and thanks.
Yeah, man.
It's cool to see.
You are welcome, my friend, and thank you for supporting us as at the builder level on the Patreon thing. I really appreciate it. It's helping, and we're probably going to see you again next month, maybe. We'll if I didn't scare you off if I didn't abuse you too much.
No, not too bad.
Yep. And Jen says, thanks. Great job, Matt. Killed it. Awesome. All right, y'all. LnM family, love y'all, and we'll see y'all again soon. Peace.
Bye-bye.